Hey everyone, my name is Angie Norris and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Angie's Book Adventures. And y'all, I'm gonna go over my TBR list for April. It's my birthday month. I can't sing, so I'm sorry if you suffered through that. So April is my birthday month. I will be 60, 60, y'all, 60 on April the 13th. I know I don't look that old. You got to pat yourself on the back once in a while. I look much younger than that, I know, but I will be 60, and I am a breast cancer survivor, for those of you who don't know. And so once you have been diagnosed with breast cancer and gone through breast cancer treatments or any type of cancer and any type of terminal illness or critical illness, serious illness, and get a diagnosis like that, and you live through it and you survive it, and you just get up every day and thank God you're alive. So I am very much looking forward to my 60th birthday. I have to say, God is good, life is good, and I will be happy to celebrate 60. And y'all, I'm sorry, my glasses are, there's a glare on my glasses from the ring light. I live in North Carolina, and we are wrapped up. I am talking wrapped up in pollen right now. And I normally wear contact lens during the day, for the most part. And I haven't been able to wear them much this week, because if I go outside and the wind is blowing at all and I get pollen in my eyes, the contacts have to come out. So the contacts came out pretty early today. But anyway, let's get to my TBR list. So I have a Facebook group called Angie's Adventures. And within that private Facebook group, I facilitate an online book club. And so we decided, or I decided, they kind of followed along, that we were not going to pick a specific genre for the month of April, since it was my birthday month. And I thought we would just do some mood reading. So I have picked out 5. Now, I have averaged reading 7 books a month in January, February, and March. I thought I was going to hit 9 in March because I was so close to finishing 2 books, one a physical book and one an audio book, on the 31st, but I just did not get finished with them. So I did finish them yesterday, and I just did a book review on both of those, and that was Firefly Lane and A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. So I already have 2 on my red list for April, and it's just April the 3rd. So I'm going to allow myself 5 more books, or I'm going to put on my TBR list 5 more books for me to read in April. I hope to maybe get more than that in, but I don't want to overwhelm myself because it is my birthday in April. I think y'all probably figured that out by now. Okay, so this is my TBR list, and we're going to go through them in order. So I'm a Kristen Hanna fan. I read her for the first time last year. I read The Nightingale. I read The Women. I just recently finished Firefly Lane, which is not her typical historical fiction type book. I love everything Kristen Hanna. So I found this one. I believe I found this, or maybe I bought it from another Whatnot seller. But this is one by Kristen Hanna entitled Wild. It says a woman who must escape her past, a child who must unlock her future. And let me see when this one came out. It was first published in 2020 in the UK. No, I'm sorry. Scratch that. The copyright is 2006. Boy, I looked at that wrong. So let me read you what it says it's going to be about. In the rugged Pacific Northwest of the United States lies the Olympic National Forest, a vast expanse of impenetrable darkness and impossible beauty. From deep within this mysterious land, a 6-year-old girl appears. Speechless and alone, she offers no clue as to her identity, no hint of her past. Having retreated to her hometown after a scandal left her career in ruins, child psychiatrist Dr. Julia Cates begins working with this extraordinary little girl. Naming her Alice, Julia is determined to free her from a prison of unimaginable fear and isolation and discover the truth about Alice's past. The shocking facts of Alice's life test the limits of Julia's faith and strength, even as she struggles to make a home for Alice and find a new one for herself. Now, this one's a pretty chunky book. It is 464 pages. So I think it's the biggest one I'm going to try to read this month. So Kristen Hanna, Wild. The second one, the one that I'm actually going to start today, when I get through with these videos, I'm going to go read, is South of the Buttonwood Tree, and this is by Heather Weber. Now, I recently read a book earlier, I think it was back in January, Midnight at the Blackbird Cafe by Heather Weber, excuse me. I absolutely loved this book. It was set in the South. I'm from North Carolina. I'm a Southern girl, born and bred, probably will be dead, living in the South. This one was set in Alabama. It was mystical, fantastical, historical fiction, but I absolutely loved it. So then after I read that one, I searched out for more Heather Weber books, and that's when I came across this one. So I ordered this off Pango, and it's my next read. It's my very next read by Heather Weber. And the other three that I have on my list is a book by, the first one is by Sue Monk Kidd, The Invention of Wings. I read a book by Sue. Hang on, I gotta think of the name of it. Okay, I didn't want you to see me thinking. The Secret Life of Bees. I read that last year, and I really loved her writing, so I sought out some other books, and I found 2 other books by her in the thrift store one day, so I snagged them. And the first one that I'm going to read is The Invention of Wings. This was actually one of Oprah's book club books. It says it's a triumphant story about the quest for freedom and empowerment. It presents the extraordinary journeys of 2 unforgettable women, an urban slave in early 19th century Charleston, and Sarah, the Grimke's idealistic daughter. So The Invention of Wings, that's on my TBR list for April. I have a Lisa Jewell. I love a good mystery thriller as well. So this is what my mood is taking me into. So I had another physical book. I've read one of hers. This was another physical book that I had on my TBR list, so I'm going to read it this month. Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. It says Ellie Mack was the perfect daughter, and then she was gone. 10 years after Ellie's disappearance, her mother, Laurel, is trying to put her life back together when she meets an unexpectedly charming man in a cafe. Before she knows it, she's meeting Floyd's daughters, and his youngest daughter, Poppy, takes Laurel's breath away because the eerily precocious Poppy is the spitting image of Ellie. So, mystery thriller. And then the last book on my TBR list that I have assigned myself in my mood reading is I wanted to read one on my Christian nonfiction shelf. And so I am a huge fan of Lisa Turkhurst, and I may be mispronouncing her name. And so I'm going to read her book entitled Uninvited, Living Loved When You Feel Less Than, Left Out, and Lonely. Uninvited. So if you have read any of these books, please drop a comment in the comment section below and let me know what you thought about them. No spoilers since I haven't read them yet, but that's my TBR list for the month of April. Also drop me a comment below and tell me what you're reading this month. And happy birthday to me.